back on. My microphone is now on. Forgetting how to set this up. Okay. I go into here. I join a voice chat. And there we go. Now I get rid of this window because we don't need this window anymore. Bye. Yes, I want to remove that screen capture window. Aha!
Hey everyone.
Yo.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. How are you? I am. Gotta get the.
Oh, you're still working on the animatic, right?
Yep. Still working on that pesky animatic that everyone's edging us on about. It's a double-edged sword for me because it's like when I work with the 4x3 drawings that we have of it, and then I start to import them and make them an animatic, you know, and then I'm like, oh, but I could draw that over that and add like lighting and stuff, and then I want to go in and add all this lighting and stuff, and I just gotta like stop. I gotta stop myself from doing that now, just to get like, the damn thing done.
That's for later.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
Your glass.
How's it going, guys?
We're doing good.
Hello. Let's see. We have still. I know we're gonna get this question. We have yet to figure out a way to screen share. We can still do the screenshot share where we take a picture of our individual screens and then you send it to me and then I can show that screen. But whenever we try to do the voice Discord, the Discord way where you join those window live streams things, it kills our meeting otherwise. So it's really weird.
This is public live stream.
Yep, we're live.
Yeah,
sure
exactly.
is.
Yeah, exactly. But if you want to share it, we could have done via a group DM.
We tried the group DM one. That was even more laggy than what sometimes happens in the. What am I trying to say? The normal call. It gets so I just tried it with Nick, with a general screen share voice meeting thing through Discord. It was so buggy. We were moving out about a frame a second.
Oh, nice.
Silent.
I rip Google Hangouts.
Yeah, isn't it ending in October?
Like that. That's what I heard. So, wait, what was that date?
Aren't they like replacing it with something?
They are.
Yeah, but
it's
you'll have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a paid service?
Sooner or later, yeah. It's gonna be coming back, but it'll be different. So I don't have citation needed.
Yeah.
Is that? I forget what will be called.
It's like Google Meet or something. Was that the sound of someone joining or someone? What was that? Oh, it was just you were going. Okay, you were trying to do a screen share.
Yeah, it's for the games.
Okay, I need to find my other documents of the opening.
Country roads. Take me
I'm also-
home.
I'm also monitoring the chat here
To
just to
the
make sure we
place
I don't miss any
I
questions.
belong. West Virginia. Country roads. I don't know the words. Take me home. That's all I got for you.
And just music to my ears, literally.
On headphones, right?
I am on headphones, yes.
Yep.
I don't know if anybody else is, but apparently Eric is.
Wait, apparently what?
Apparently Eric is.
Yeah. Yep, always.
You know I am on the speakers.
Aren't you a show off, huh?
It will be possible to hear some echo.
Why did I hit duplicate? I don't need that. I need a new scene.
The question. Here's a question for my life as a teenage robot reboot. Is X-Gen 9 gonna turn evil in future episodes?
We're trying to stray away from the evil Jenny plotline. It's kind of overdone in just concerning the old show, where Jenny turns bad through either cluster mind control or Todd Sweeney mind control, or what was another one where she turned bad and we had to go fight her. Oh, that was the dream one, the daydream one. That's another one where she, we had to go. She was the one we had to stop. We're just trying to avoid that plot line because it's been done so much. It's been done so much.
The trope, yeah. I mean, as long as you're a robot character or a robotic suit, it's gonna get hacked sooner or later.
What's gonna get
by
hacked?
some evil person? You know, like it happens on like everything. Iron Man, my life as a teenage robot, Sonic. As long as there's a robotic character, sooner or later, if it's a good guy, it will be hacked into a bad guy along the line. And it happens all the time.
I'm just saying, like, it's happened already so much on the original series that we're just trying to avoid it. We're just basically trying to avoid that plot line now, because it's like, it's been done at least 3 times, probably a 4th time, because I don't have every episode memorized, but, those are those 3 that I think immediately came to mind. Alright, oh my god. Alright, fine. Okay, I know where to do this.
Just draw Jenny doing an Iron Man landing. I'll probably do that right now. That sounds actually really cool.
You can't screen share it though.
No, I won't.
Yeah,
that's not happening. I'm just gonna post it.
Okay.
Oh yes, that's coming from my desktop audio.
Question for all of us: how's life? Great.
Yeah. Having to find my job. Having to find a job soon.
Don't we
I'm
all?
technically on vacation right now.
Oh, lucky.
Yeah.
There. The deed is done.
What deed?
Someone was requesting something, and I fulfilled it. Now you don't have to ask anymore. There's a little bit of delay on the stream, but it's catching up. It's catching up. I'm watching it. It's catching up.
We'll basically just say out all the questions there is, because, might as well. Someone, I cannot read the name. It's in Russian. he or she said, Nathan, or what you're working on is a part of the animation.
This is the animatic. What I'm working on right now. Although I'm trying to think right now if, because a lot of the point of an animatic is with when you do have camera shots like this. You wonder if I should go through the door. The whole point is to end up in the basement. Do I go through the door and go down the stairs with the camera, or do I do this thing where I shift the whole camera through the floor?
Look at that entire room. Jeez Louise. Laura, man, what's she been doing?
It's meant to be creepy.
Okay, this is from the R-word Ganjio04. Will Wallace and Gromit appear in the reboot? Will they overwhelm Jenny with crackers and cheese?
That's season 5 stuff.
And just crackers about cheese, Gromit.
guess
10,000 said,
Do
you worship our Lord and Savior Roblox, Jenny?
Leave religion out of it!
I don't know if it could beat Jesus Vexus, though.
Leave religion out of it!
Let's see. I need to find our storyboards for this one, because I need some reference on how we... Animatics, storyboards, season 4, activation day, opening sequence, opening scene. Oop, nothing in there. Opening sequence. Oh wait, no, that's right. He did a version. There it is.
Alright. Belrog Bean says, is there a way I can send a picture of my OC to the MLaaTR Robot reboot devs?
You can post it in the public Discord. Right, will there be any old Nicktoons characters that could possibly make a cameo in this project? Not likely.
Not crossover wise. We might I don't know,
cameo,
throw.
Maybe.
It's like I might. It's like because. How do I just explain this? Maybe as a vague cameo where you might see a person in the background who, I don't know, vaguely looks like a random Nickelodeon character who's human. I don't know. He may vaguely look like, I don't know. I'm really drawing a blank here. I'm remembering all the Nicktoons who are weirdly contorted and not non-human, like SpongeBob, Patrick, and everything. Hold on. The dude. Okay. The Hey Arnold, that series. They were all humans. I don't know. You in the background, you might see a person who vaguely looks like one of the characters from Hey Arnold, and you're like, "Hey, that kind of looks like them." Maybe it's a coincidence, or maybe it's an actual cameo. But I would not. If they were to cameo, if there was any character to cameo, it would not look like the style of that show, because it would look like Teenage Robot style. So, say Arnold specifically from Hey Arnold makes a cameo. He would not. He would likely not have the giant football head. He would probably have a less contorted head for Teenage Robot. But even like say he does even make a cameo, a straight up like, hey, that's Arnold from Hey Arnold. He would be far in the background in a crowd. He would be a little Easter egg. He would not be a prominent character. That's how we would handle it.
Well, there you have it.
All right, I'm gonna take a picture of this. I'm gonna take a picture of this.
Guys,
This.
Yeah.
you lost my question. You know the comic Return of the Toy Bots? That's the one with what was his face? XJ Negative.
I've heard of
Yes.
Attack of the Toy Bot.
Well, I have
Game.
I have not read it, but I have seen.
In DA.
Yeah. I've seen it like around. Like I've seen like it springs up when you're searching teenage robot stuff in
Oh my gosh, guys, you won't believe this. Someone asked, can we add Suicide Squad to this reboot?
we always get a few weird
Said
ones like that.
Suicide Squidward.
Red Mike.
Professor Meowington's. Hey Nathan, remember 2 streams ago you said something about how you were going to talk about what you would have done if you did American Dragon? Did you do that last stream? Because I wasn't there.
Oh, I have not done that whatsoever. That might be a fun topic if we want to get into it, but it's kind of a lengthy conversation.
I know absolute jack about American Dragon, so I won't be able to contribute to that much.
I'll leave it to the
What's the full
I'll leave it
theory?
to the chat. I'll leave it to the chat if they want me to bust into that, because it'll take a while to get through like what the idea was for that. So, yes or no, chat? Do you want me to talk about what would have happened with American Dragon if it came back instead of Teenage Robot? And then we'll wait for the response there. Hey Nathan, do you eat Lunchable for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? I don't eat Lunchables at all. I always thought Lunchables were disgusting. It was just bologna, crackers, and I think cheese. That was a Lunchable. That was. I'm like, that was disgusting for me.
Pretty
That's like,
much.
why?
They made a lot more Lunchables, actually. They made tons more Lunchables.
I like the pizza ones myself.
Oh yeah, there was the pizza ones, because they look like. I didn't like the pizza ones either, because they always looked like little. They looked like toy pizza. They never looked like actual
Right?
pizza. I know.
I ate Lunchables one time when I actually went to Cincinnati Museum Center one time.
Nathan, you don't eat Lunchables. You eat kid cuisines.
I did. No, I won't. When I was younger, I did eat kid cuisine. I'm not
Yeah,
hiding from that.
same.
Whoa.
I had the mac and cheese
Really?
and the chicken nuggets. I ate those all the time as a kid.
Mm. When I
Although
was a kid,
I
my
remember.
When I was a kid, my mom wouldn't buy me Lunchables. But now I'm an adult now, and I can buy all the Lunchables I want.
I do remember though that I remember when we had because it wasn't just me, it was me and my sister. But I remember that getting the mac and cheese ones was our favorite. But it was a double-edged sword, because the mac and cheese one is the one that came with corn, and our parents would always make us eat the corn, and the kid cuisine corn is disgusting.
Yeah, it's not great.
So, yeah.
Kid cuisine, everything is kind of disgusting.
Yeah, there's a lot of foods that I look back on that I can't believe I ate as a kid.
Mm.
Does everyone remember SpaghettiOs?
My
That's-
gosh.
That was
You know
Those
what?
are
That
still
was
a
really
thing
good.
in my house, at least.
Oh, well, not that long ago. I think like 5 months ago. It was really good.
I cook my own pasta now for myself.
Bless you.
And I look back at SpaghettiOs and see how it's still. I forgot that it comes in a can, and so it's like you're eating a canned canned pasta with canned meatballs sometimes that are in it, and it's just I'm like, ugh. Anyway, still haven't gotten a answer on that question. It moved on into food. Okay, so yeah, I guess they do want me to briefly talk about how what would have been with American Dragon. Okay, everyone buckle up. This is a little bit of a story. And I have to also defend myself before I get into this. This is gonna get a little weird because this was I never got far with this. It was just the idea. I never fleshed anything out. I never cross-checked and be like, is this actually the best path? This was just the initial idea that I would pursue if American Dragon was the one that was going to come back instead. And it was the runner-up. It was the runner-up. So, but because the original idea for Teenage Robot is completely different than what we are doing now. Which that'll be another fun topic to go over one day with what the original concept was for Rebooted before it turned into this effort here. But as for the original concept for American Dragon, it was going to be, unlike Teenage Robot, it wasn't going to be a series. It was going to be 2 movies, and that was it. It was going to be a movie with the first movie would have covered one major villain of the series, and the second movie would have covered the other major villain of the series. And then that would have been it. That would have been the finale. So
what made you want to do like a whole series for Teenage Robot instead of just like a couple movies?
I'll be completely honest. I got too many ideas. I had too many ideas of like, oh, we could have an episode about this, or we could have a plot line with this. Oh, and then there's this thing that we could do, and I'm like, oh, well, this isn't a movie. And it also helped because there were so many villains and bad guys and characters that had unresolved plot lines, like Misty and Melody. If you were to have done one movie about that, you're gonna have to write them out. You're gonna have to focus on, if you want to do one movie about Teenage Robot, you got to focus on the cluster, and that's it, because that's the big baddie, and then that's like, once you're done, you're done. Without doing a series, you can't focus on Melody, you can't focus on Misty, you can't focus on all these other characters that have unresolved plot lines. So I can talk, but the original idea for Teenage Robot was a movie, and that was it. And then it turned into the series. But anyway, for the American Dragon thing, the original idea was 2 movies, and the first one would have been about, like, it would opened with, I don't know if anyone here watched American Dragon, but there was this character called the Dark Dragon, and the Dark Dragon, who was essentially one of the biggest, if not the biggest baddies that the American Dragon ever fought in that series. So it would have opened, and in that series, the last we see of the Dark Dragon is that he's getting sucked into a portal to some alternate dimension. Like, that's like the last we saw of him. There's also another bad guy in American Dragon that was way more prevalent, and he was more like the Darth Vader, like, big baddie, and that was the Huntsman, and he was the leader of the Hunts clan, and like their name suggests, their entire deal is that they hunt magical creatures like dragons and unicorns and all that stuff. So they hunt dragons, and so that was the main antagonist. And the last time we saw him, he was also getting, well, in the original cut, little trivia, in the original cut, he gets vaporized out of existence, like he dies. But in the released version, he just gets teleported into a different dimension, and that's how they handle that. So both these characters have gotten sucked into a different dimension, and that's how they were defeated. So the idea for my original American Dragon concept was that it was going to open with the servant of the Dark Dragon, who was this member. This all sounds like smoking pot, but it was the member. It was a member of the Dragon Council, the Worldwide Dragon Council, who had turned against the Dragon Council and joined the Dark Dragon as his servant. It would start off with his servant formulating a spell or something with all her little demon servants like that would serve her and the Dark Dragon, and that's almost ready to go. And she's like, it's almost ready, we just need a few more ingredients and then we can bring back the Dark Dragon, blah 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 blah. And then we would get to Jake's story, who is the main character, and it would be about Jake completing his training as the American Dragon, the first movie. His whole plot line is, okay, you have graduated high school, you are now on to college, because that's what happened in the old series, and it is time you become an adult and accept the responsibility, accept the total responsibility of the American Dragon, become, like the protector of America, and it would imply all this stuff, right? Meanwhile, he and Rose, the girlfriend, are just getting back, together after the finale of season 2 of American Dragon, right? So the whole plot line would be about him balancing his life and stuff with that relationship and, assuming his responsibility. I gotta work as I talk, because I just realized I've been keeping the screen completely white for a while. Just scenes, yes. So that would be that plot line where he would be trying to balance his life as a superhero dragon thing. I mean, you can kind of tell how similar this is to Teenage Robot here for a second there. He's trying to balance his life as this magical kid who can turn into a dragon and fight crime. Magical crime in this sense. He doesn't actually go stop bank robberies and stuff like Jenny does, but he protects the magical realm and stuff of America. And he would be about him balancing that with his love life, which is something they've tackled before in the old series, but like which would probably be one of those early kinks that I would have had to work out, finding a way to uniquely do it. Eventually these two plot lines intersect, where the Dark Dragon disciple gets discovered by, or the minions get discovered by either the council or Jake or someone, and they follow them back to the lair just as they're adding the last ingredient. And then this whole battle sequence happens, and this is about around, I would say, in terms of a movie, this is about the 20-minute, 30-minute mark where this is all going down. The portal opens, like, oh my god, he's coming back, the Dark Dragon. No. Uh-oh, a dragon skull gets tossed through the portal, and it like rolls to a stop, and then everyone's like kind of shocked, like, what? And then the Hunts clan, who had been thrown into a different dimension, walks through. So it's like, uh-oh, this Dark Disciple got the spell wrong, and instead of bringing back her master, the Dark Dragon, she brought back the Huntsman and the Hunts clan. Like, oh shit, they're back. So, and then this gets a little fuzzy, because again, I never fleshed this out entire. So what happened? So somehow the Hunts clan takes over real fast and starts messing up the magical world. Because in this series, there's like, it's kind of like the Harry Potter syndrome, where there's the normal world, and then existing inside the normal world, it's the magical world. It's like the whole concept of the show. Only it's like, instead of a magic wizard as a main character, you got a magic dragon. So he somehow starts messing up the magical realm instantly. I was thinking like something like, he's got, in this alternate dimension, he's found all these sorts of materials for weapons and stuff, so he's like bringing them all in, like, I'm taking over the world. And then he could probably have like this magical spear or sword or something that's like impervious to magical attacks, and it's like super hard to fight him and stuff like that. So everybody's forced to fall back and regroup, and basically, and then somewhere through this, the Jake's grandpa would be like trying to like scold him, like, "Oh, this is why you need to be vigilant, blah 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 blah, not be concerned with your girlfriend or something, blah blah blah." And after that was like, there's a lot of phasey stuff in between. Something's got to go in between, because that still doesn't make up a full plot. And then, but eventually leads to a confrontation with the Hunts clan, where they're fighting, and the Huntsman effectively gets the edge on the main character, Jake, and then actually looks like he's about to kill Jake, because Jake's like maybe like out of practice because he hasn't been training at all or anything like that, and it looks like he's about to, I don't know, stab Jake or mortally wound Jake or something, you know. But what ends up happening is that he actually ends up, like, this is like a kind of a self-sacrifice sort of thing. He actually ends up stabbing the girlfriend, the drawing a blank, Rose. That's her name. So she accidentally ends up stabbing Rose, because like Rose is like, no, because that's kind of cliche. I would have probably changed that if it would have gone forward, but like if Rose gets mortally wounded, like, oh no, Rose, forcing Jake to retreat and, you know, not assume, like, and then that because Jake retreats, the rest of the dragon people who are with him, fighting with him, get captured by the Hunts clan, and it looks like they're like getting processed and all that stuff. And meanwhile, Jake is like running off to like deal with the injured Rose. So he flies off with her to like some, I don't know, magical realm or something for healing. And it looks like it's not looking good, and it looks like Rose isn't like gonna make it very well, yada yada. And let's see, because I think it was like, the idea was like this one would be, you know how in Chinese mythology there's a lot in Chinese martial arts, which American Dragon has a lot to give to Chinese mythology and stuff. It deals with like Greek mythology and stuff like that, but a lot of it's like it was kind of a combination of all mythologies, really, because I just remembered there's also like Medusa. Well, that's Greek, but there's also like stuff from Western mythology, like unicorns and phoenixes and stuff like that. So but there's a lot to give with Chinese mythology. So I thought the idea would be like, he's this part of completing his training as the American Dragon would be like, he has to learn like chi, like bending chi and stuff. So, because that seemed magical or something. So, and anyway, he goes to this magical place where like like some garden or something with a bunch of different, like, I would say elves or something, some magical being who's really good at healing, and to try and get someone to help, you know, the mortally wounded Rose here. And it's not looking good. And so in order to save her, he has to transfer. This is where it gets weird, because it's like like this was young me, and I was just going nuts with the writing without any checks and balances about like if this actually made sense. He has to transfer some of his chi as a dragon, because evidently dragons have really good healing abilities in this show. Like, that's not me, that's the actual show. They have insanely good healing abilities. Into Rose, so she could take some of that healing ability and heal herself or keep her stable. And so that's what he does, and that's kind of the symbolic that he's accepting, like, okay, I have to assume the role of the American Dragon. I have to do this, and he completes his chi training basically through that. And Rose gets stabilized. She's still wounded, but she's stabilized, but now, you know, he has to go off and save everybody else because they were captured by the Hunts clan. You know, they're still in cages, like getting ready for the slaughter, because that's what the Hunts clan does. They slaughter dragons, mount their heads on walls. So he has to go save everybody else, his family and friends and stuff. So he flies all the way back in this great, because this is the climax of the movie now, and he flies all the way back and he like shows up. I would akin it to when Rango came back in Rango, or when Po came back in Kung Fu Panda 2, where he's like, it's the lone warrior coming back like, you got me down, but I'm back, you son of a, and he's gonna fight. And so, let's see. So, during this confrontation, so he shows up again, he starts like freeing everybody, all the dragons come, like, bust out of their cages and stuff, all the people he's saving. So he's saving everybody, and then the Hunts clan is getting like, and the Hunts clan and the huntsmen getting really upset, like, oh, we had him, why are we failing so much? And then they're fighting, it's the big, like, grand battle, final confrontation. And then one of the Hunts clan guys, like, sees their, like, stock of, like, explosives or something, and one of the main characters, who's not Jake, sees that stock too, and sees what that guy's planning, and the guy starts running towards the explosives, and it would either be Jake's grandpa or this Korean dragon who was Jake's sister's teacher in the TV show, because like the grandpa was Jake's teacher and this Korean dragon was his sister's. It would be more effective if it was the grandpa. Now that I think about it, it would be more effective. I know that's retroactively changing what the original plan was, but the original plan, it would have been the Korean dragon. But I think it would have been, now that I think about it, it would have been way more effective if it was the grandpa dragon. Anyway, he's like racing this guy to the explosives. The guy makes it there first, and this guy who's like a servant to the Hunts clan, one of the Hunts clan members, says some last final word, like, I don't know, death to the dragons or something, and then he lights the explosive and blows himself up and blows the whole square up, injuring everybody around him, effectively stopping the battle, because he thinks he's destroying all the dragons with it. And so in that process, the grandpa dragon, or the Korean dragon in the original thing, gets mortally wounded. I know, it's a lot of mortally wounded. And Jake's like, oh my god, no! But he's a dragon, and it's obviously mortally wounded for a dragon. You can't just transfer your chi into them, because they already are a dragon. So if it's mortally wounded for a dragon, they're kind of done. So what ends up happening, though, is that this whoever gets wounded here is a dragon and starts like fading from existence, or like dying. It would be kind of like the Master Oogway, where they kind of turn into like petals or sparklies or something, just the energy's kind of fading away. And so the huntsman is relatively okay, and so he's like, all right, let's finish this. And then so it's like a one-on-one between Jake and the huntsman, but Jake gets the idea. He starts absorbing the spirit and the chi of the dragon that just died in front of him, and he starts, fusing it with his own. And so he becomes ultra powerful. He basically goes Super Saiyan. He's like, getting ready to fight. And so then it's this big. He's like, this is him. Like, all right, I have to assume this responsibility. It's time to be my own person. And he becomes the American dragon, and he's got all this chi power, and he's ready to fight the huntsman. And then they go on a one-on-one fight, and they start fighting. And then it really start right at the get-go, though, that the Jake breaks that ultra powerful weapon that I talked about very briefly, that's from the other dimension. And then it's like the ultimate is like, impossible, no one's that strong, but something cliche like that. And so then they start just like on a fist, like a fist fight, like a one-on-one, and Jake is obviously winning because he's got all this uber powerful stuff now. The huntsman guy gets thrown back, Jake clearly wins the fight, but then everyone notices, oh my god, that wasn't the only batch of explosives. There's still more, and then everyone's like, oh, run! And then everyone, like, Jake gets out of there. Everybody gets out of there. The Huntsman has fallen behind, and then the entire place blows up in a big old fireworks show of fire and explosives. And then there's that final moment where we see all the dust clearing and stuff, and then the Huntsman's there. He's very injured now, and he just sees like his whole plan has like come to ruin. The Hunts clan's gone. It's blown up into smithereens, and the dragons have won. And it's like, I'm done. And then Jake would be like, yeah, you're done now. And then I guess there'd be like one final fist fight between the two of them, where the Huntsman like either falls off a cliff or something and just is demised. He's demised. Complete death. And so that'd be like, yay, the Huntsmen and the Hunts clan are finally dead. No more. And so the last thing that would happen in this first movie would be that Jake would fly back to where Rose is, because she's like in a coma now. And so I know I rambled on a long time about this, but I promise that the second movie is not as fleshed out because, again, I eventually chose Teenage Robot and dropped this whole concept.
More time with Nathan.
Yeah. So he flies back to the location where Rose was being kept, and it turns out that Rose is like stable, but she's in a coma now. Like after that huge injury, she's just in a coma. And then Jake like gets an idea, because he's uber powerful now. He's got the chi of the dragon that passed away in front of him, and so he gets the idea of like, oh, maybe I can still do this, and he transfers the last of that chi, the other the dragon spirit thing, into Rose, and then that is what brings her back from the coma, and she's out of the coma now. She's fine. She's like healed up. She's okay. It's like, hey, happy ending, everybody. And then the twist would be is that while they're like laughing and having a good time, that dragon spirit, okay, so Rose would like breathe a burst of fire, and so that little dragon chi transfer is implied to give her the ability to transform into a dragon like Jake does on a regular basis. So then that leads into the second movie, which I promise again is not as detailed as that. The second movie is about the Dark Dragon coming back, because like the twist ending would be like, or the after credits moment is like that dragon skull that got thrown out of the portal. We would cut back to that, and then we would just see like a giant claw, or like we'd hear the portal open up, and then we'd see a giant claw step down on top of the skull, and he's like, oh, okay, so he's back now too. So in the second one, it would be all about, the first one was about Jake accepting the responsibility as the dragon, American Dragon. The second movie is about him teaching the student. Like he has become the master now. He has to teach the student, and so the second movie is all about him teaching Rose to like handle these newfound powers that saved her life. And so that's what that whole movie's about. And again, I have that's about there would be, then the Dark Dragon is the grand finale. This second one is so unfleshed out, is that I just know that there would be a moment where Rose has it, because Rose was, if you watch the old show, was originally a Hunts clan member, where she was part of the Hunts clan, and she was actually probably second in command, now that I think about it. Yeah, I think she was the Huntsman's second in command. So because she was like had it by birth or something. She's got this dragon tattoo that marks the mark of a Hunts clan member or something. So it's implied that being a Hunts clan member is a genetic trait. It's not you just sign up. It's like it's a genetic trait that you're kidnapped from birth and like raised to be a Hunts clan member. Like this idea of killing dragons drilled into your brain. So the whole second movie about training Rose would be about like having her overcome this weird Hunts clan. I don't even know how to describe it. The thing that the genetic thing of whatever the hell that is, this magical genetic thing that makes a Hunts Clan member because it's like it's the whole like she's got the chi of a dragon now, but she's still like got the genetics of a Hunts Clan member. So it's like those can be like battling each other throughout the whole movie, and so it'd be about her overcoming that, and Jake teaching her, like being the master, teaching the student, teaching her how to do this, and then the Dark Dragon comes back at some point for the grand finale. The grand finale would take place at the school or something, somewhere in public, because that would be the ultimate end to all this, is that the magical world is revealed to the entire world through this Dark Dragon incident, and it just opens up a new chapter as the series comes to a close of just like, instead of the magical world living in secret, now they're going to live in harmony with the real world. And
kind of like Star versus the Force of Evil at this point.
Yeah. So, and then it would end with the Dark Dragon getting, because it's me, you know me, you know, in whatever I touch, there has to be something that concerns this. The Dark Dragon would essentially turn into a giant kaiju dragon, where he'd be gigantic.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's already gigantic. He's already, I think, in comparison to Jake, who's I think about like 7 feet tall when he's in his dragon form, the Dark Dragon is like 30. He's huge. He's a huge dragon. But he would turn even bigger, absorb all this evil power, and turn huge. And then it would be up to Jake and Rose and all the other dragons to stop the Dark Dragon as he's like taking over. Because his plan is like, I'm gonna take over the real world and force all the magical, make all and rule over the normal people with my magical servants. And you know, and so it would all be about stopping the Dark Dragon, and then through that process of stopping the Dark Dragon would die, like maybe like fall to his death or something, or blow up, or something. He would die, and Rose would get a handle of this new ability of hers, and because Jake successfully teaches her. And like I said, the magical world is revealed to the human world, and then it's like all about, and the ending is like them all living in harmony now instead of one living in hiding. And yeah, that would be the end. So that is, if Teenage Robot was not the path to choose, that was the backup.
Oh,
yay!
Oh, guys, it would have been a very,
even the chat doesn't care
very
anymore.
interesting.
I don't
Oh, my
care what he's going to say.
All right,
You
so
know, all right. So as you were rambling on your story, your fantastic story,
yeah.
of Dragon Jake Long.
No, I don't
Mr.
want to pull any punches. It's a weird storyline. Like, I'm not. It was when I think I was like 15 or 16 when I like plotted that out. It was just, I was like,
yeah.
It's just, you know, it's the beginning stages of whatever it would have turned into. It's not even, yeah. But yeah.
Well, as you were saying that story, I was looking up My Life as a Teenage Robot reboot stuff of on the internet, and I stumbled over IMDb.
Oh yeah,
Turns out.
did you find that someone
Yeah.
made me a and the Teenage Robot Rebooted project an IMDb page?
Yeah.
I don't know
22
why.
people started
I think I've
8.7
seen it.
out of 10.
Hang on, what? What does it say now? I don't monitor it because I don't.
Yeah. So 22 people rated it, and it's an 8.7 out of 10.
It's not out yet, though.
That's funny.
I think the behind the scenes work that we're
Hold
doing
on, I want
now
to
is-
hold on. I want to
That
check
trailer was so
something.
good it got an 8.7 out of 10.
I want to check something
On
right now. Give me
IMDb.
1 second. Okay, yeah. My suspicions are confirmed. Okay, everybody, congratulations. According to IMDb, Teenage Robot Rebooted is now a higher rated series than the original series. Yay!
Nice.
We did it!
Whoa!
We did it, guys.
We did it.
Series over. We don't have to
Good
continue.
job, everyone. Yeah, pack it all up.
Congratulations.
Pack it up.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Anyway.
Apparently, we have 2 voice
Oh,
actors,
crap!
too.
Oh, never mind. I thought we've not realized, apparently. Okay. I see one, and apparently...
I have no idea what you're saying.
I thought
We
the
did better than the
character-
Cluster Prime
I
episode.
thought the spoiler was there for some reason. Like this.
In
For some
the
reason, like-
IMDb page?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think. Because that was written. That was written by somebody else. I don't know who it was written by. It wasn't written by any. I don't think it was written by any of us. Because I certainly.
Yeah, I don't
wanna-
recognize the name.
They did get one-
there's
they did get
there's
one
no,
person.
Like, super spoilers in it.
They did get one person right in the cast.
Yeah, Madison Brunailer, that's
Yeah.
right.
She's that's
accurate,
that.
but I don't know
that's
who Ryan
that's
Austin
accurate.
is. I've never heard that name.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Memory definitely doesn't serve, but yeah, Madison's there. That's that, and that cast list is correct. That she's all them.
I have not realized that already.
She's a really good voice actress.
Dang.
I hope her career takes off. She's a really good voice actress, Madison.
She is.
Lizzie is a good voice actress too, and she's
Yes.
I think Madison, for those who watching, she did a voice in the Five Nights at Freddy's game. She did the voice of Happy Frog.
What?
Which I played that and I didn't know that was her, so that's pretty cool.
I did not even know that.
Awesome.
Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. I evidently I'm missing a question. Gerald Dougherty. He just says, "Oh yeah," but are you happen to be related to Mike Dougherty? If so, give me a call, please. I would like to. Anyway,
Robert Zeddy Ryan, the reboot IMDb page says Lore von Media.
Nico Arsonist 2 asks, question in the future, could you try doing a third Raggedy Android episode? We have to, because that Raggedy Android is a unresolved plot line. It's not in season 4, but it's one of the villains we have to bring back for season 5 to resolve the plot line. As for how we're gonna bring it back, up in the air right now. We don't, nothing like hard.
World may never know.
Yeah, it's nothing hard sketched out or anything hard like copy. What am I trying to say? Nothing in cement yet with Raggedy Android's comeback. But we have to do it because she's one of the villains that has the unresolved plot line. I just gotta do a quick... Okay, so... I can either zoom... I guess it'd be okay to, like, stop right here with the camera. So instead of it being this drawn in, I can just...
Alright, Gerald Dougherty asks, what do you guys think about Spinell in the Steven Universe movie?
That's a weird
I
movie.
wanted to hug her so much.
I love her. I have
I
a soft
felt
spot for crazed female villains with pigtails.
I felt so bad for her. I wanted to hug her every time she cried.
Okay. Oh, I can't really say it. I don't know if everybody else watched it. Alright, never mind. It's been funny, though.
I will say that, I mean, I already hated one character before I watched Steven Universe, the movie. And after watching it, I hate her even more. I hope I kept that vague enough to for everyone to understand.
Just vague enough. I know who you're talking about. I agree. The music, though, holy crap!
Yeah, that was really good.
Like
The only
songs,
time
but
I started to question like the musical choice is when, and this isn't a spoiler, but there's a point where Steven starts tap dancing in his sandals. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. How does that work?
Yeah, that was
Wow.
weird.
I'm like, wait.
More flacier than-
That, but everything else was
it's more flacier.
pretty good. Okay,
Hank Diamond. Does that ring any bells?
yes, that rings a bell, but I don't want to spoil what might be going on with Pink Diamond in case there's someone in the chat who wants to watch the show.
Oh.
They want you to say the hated character already. I thought it was Pearl at first.
Hold on.
and then-
Okay, I don't want to. Okay, see, so they want me to say the hated character. I don't want to spoil it because I don't know if anyone's here
Yeah.
who hasn't seen it. I will say, I'll tell you.
I don't care.
Her name.
Some people do.
She has two names. One of them starts with an R, and the other starts with a P. There you go. If you know the series, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, she's weird. I don't like her either.
Couldn't be road.
The Teenage Robot fan base. Don't you guys want to be personal about? Don't mean to be personal about the questions, but you guys notice how we passed you in subscribers? I was afraid it was gonna.
Paradox.
If it was gonna know you guys put way more effort into your content. Well, freaking brag
Yeah,
about that
because
you
that's
passed more
your channel
subscribers.
Actually has content.
Freaking brag about it, fan base. You got more subscribers than us. Hmm. Okay then. Freaking brag about it. I'm kidding. But
He suggested he suggested
that's
crossing
funny.
the streams earlier, which I'd be down for.
ooh, that would be kind of fun. We haven't done that before, yeah. Oh, but the way you said that though, are we defeating? Are we defeating the villain of Ghostbusters? What was it? What was her name? Like Goldor?
Gozer.
Gozer.
Gozer. Gozer the Gozerian.
Yeah.
Stop dying. I'm not dying. I have a pulse. I have a pulse. I have
I laugh.
heartbeat. Not yet. Yeah, not dead.
Okay, I gotta start drawing. I keep getting wrapped up in the conversation. I gotta actually work on the animatic. Good lord.
Yeah, that's Nick that you're hearing laughing, not me.
Thank you.
I'll get this one camera shot in the 1080p form, and then after this, I'll just start importing the dry storyboards and just go from there. Oh my god, that's terrible. Why did I... Oh my... Let me try that again. There we go. That's a much more clean line.
Finally looked at the video. Nathan, that's a unique way of storyboarding.
What?
Oh, you mean for the part of the animatic we released?
Yeah, I'm looking at the pipes. That's
Oh,
I hardly see that.
What, the... Well, this was drawn originally by Sean, and so I'm just converting... Because, like, what the problem is that... we were... Okay, not gonna lie. We were kind of banking on everybody saying 4x3. We learned our lesson. So the first... There's a couple handful of storyboards that may or may not be entirely of the first episode that were completely done in 4x3. So we have to eventually we have to slowly convert each and every one of them. But in order to convert each and every one of them, that would take so much time that it would like delay this until winter. So we're only converting a handful for the official or the public release, and then we'll be working on it still afterward, just converting it into 1080p mode. But during that time, we'll also be like fixing it, because we would get fan feedback and stuff like that. So we would go in and fix some scenes and all that jazz, so it wouldn't be like for naught. So yeah.
Are we still gonna do like the Vaporan surround sound too, like the Vaporan mix?
I don't think we actually need to do a 5.1 surround sound mix of the animatic, because that kind of seems kind of pointless, because it's not even the final sound design, and it has a bunch of test music, and it's like, or like what's the term? There's an official term. It's music to be replaced. It's temporary music, or temp tracks. For the music to get just the feel of the episode, or the beat and stuff, or the action set pieces and stuff. It's very common practice to do in film and animation and stuff. So anyway, a long story short, all that stuff, all the test sound design and stuff like that, we don't have to convert that into 5.1 surround sound yet, because it's not the final audio to begin with. We'd just be converting all this test audio to 5.1. That would be pointless.
Basically, the fan base is actually asking us to change it back to 4.3.
No,
but the vote's already been taken.
Vote's already been taken, and
No
to be
way.
honest, well, first of all, I'm not. I don't think I ever finished my sentence. We are still releasing it. We're not spending all our time to convert everything first and then release it after we're done converting. We're going to be releasing it, and the thing is that just a couple of the shots are going to be still in 4:3, while the rest, and then there's going to be a handful of shots that are going to be in 16:9. So it'll be like a kind of a mix going in. Although, you know what, I bet I should
It's all about that 10x10.
So it's still gonna get it. Guys still gonna get the animatic. It'll just be when it comes out. It's gonna be a mixture of 4:3 ratio and 16:9, because of just the nature of us converting everything. The good news is that we are gonna eventually come up with a 16:9 storyboard format. So at some point we'll just be able to just do this regularly, where it would just be like, take a picture of the storyboard, put it on the animatic. Take a picture of the storyboard, put it on the animatic, because it does no need conversion, because it's already 16:9. All right. It needs to blend into. It needs to blend into metal plating.
And when you look up Discord on DeviantArt, it shows you the guy from that one cartoon show. I always forget what it's called.
My Little Pony?
Yes.
Friendship is Magic? Yeah, Discord.
But I'm actually looking for the logo. Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
I'm trying to make my what's it called? My homepage a little bit homey to me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Give it my own touch.
Oh, these types of camera moves are always so tricky, because there's so much background that you have to fly through. But it would be so cool to get this camera move going like this. It'd be so cool.
Cool. Man.
How do you do casting call clubs?
What's that?
How do you do casting call clubs?
Casting call clubs?
Well, casting
Yeah, there's a thing called Casting Call Club.
Oh,
I've
you mean
actually
okay, the
started
website. It's a
first.
web. Oh yeah, the website. I thought you meant like an actual like club.
Say, how do you do that?
Okay, so that would be the floor. And now I just do a quick little color in to make it all look kind of pretty. Kinda pretty. I should clarify. Oh, that's right. It's still. Nope, that's not what I wanted.
Give Kilgore a potato gun.
Give Kilgore.
Says
I
Boris
assume they
Wonka.
mean the Sioux Killer, which is the.
The what?
I don't know if you were in on this. I don't want to go into the full story because it involves calling people out publicly, and I don't want to do that.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. I remember
But the
that.
Sioux Killer, a lot of people want us to put it on put it in the actual show as a gag, and it would be
I thought
funny.
that
It
means-
would be funny.
I thought before you said that, it's like, I thought, this was like a gun that shoots potatoes at you.
No, it is. The weapons are. No, it does shoot potatoes. Like it does shoot. It's a potato gun. But what it does is that it has the ability to kill any overpowered character. Hence the Sioux Killer, the Mary Sue, the Gary Stu Killer. It's like it kills the overpowered character. And it can only be held by the weakest character on the series of whatever movie that it's in.
My gosh.
And so it ends up, you
Sounds
shoot it, and
amazing.
you shoot it, and it shoots a potato at him, and the potato kills them. So it's the point is that it takes this uber powerful character that the audience doesn't enjoy because they're too powerful and they're too perfect, and it shoots and kills them with the most pathetic way possible. That's the whole point. And it would be funny to have in the show. I just don't know how it would happen because I mean, who would we shoot and kill? Because Jenny, we're trying to not make a Mary Sue, so
Yeah, it's very easy.
Yeah, complicated.
Well, yeah, you just gotta make sure that they
Complicated
have
or not make-
flaws.
Yeah.
You just gotta make sure that the character has flaws and stuff. Yeah, that's the not only as like
Don't make
weaknesses.
her a loser.
Yeah, well, no, like not only as in like a because there's also the dangerous idea of the anti-Mary Sue, which isn't as prevalent in media, but it's still a thing where you make a character who is so pathetic and so like wimpy and just all around and just not able to what's the term?
The
Able to
lame
function,
character, pretty
not
much.
you,
I mean-
yeah. You make a character who is so unable to function, it becomes unlikable because of that. They become so unlikable, not because they're too perfect, but because they're too imperfect. There's nothing about them that's redeeming. It's like you hate watching them. That's the anti-Mary Sue. Again, not as prevalent in media because usually the problem is the reverse, where it's a character who is too powerful and too perfect. But yeah, I'm gonna take that layer. I'm gonna move it down.
You guys watch the Dark Crystal show on Netflix.
I
If you do have Netflix.
do have it, but I have not watched it.
I might be
I heard
able to get Netflix, but I also might be able to get Disney Plus when it comes out.
Wait, watch what?
The
Disney
Dark Crystal.
Plus.
No, the Dark Crystal, the TV series.
Oh, I've been meaning to watch that,
that.
but I haven't gotten to it yet.
So good.
I think
It's
I'm
amazing.
I have
Mine
heard
as
a
well,
lot of
but
good things about it. I have.
starring.
I'm my interest is increasingly interested. Come on. This is why this camera shot is so complex. It's just like it's because it doesn't cut. I can't cut this. I have to like go through this whole motion of watching this. Zoom in. What does this look like? Oh, I got to bring in the camera a little bit more to kill that one little sliver there in the corner. There we go. So that way, when I cut down, I can just cover that up. Right there. And so now I can take the camera in this shot. First of all, duplicate this panel. Good. Delete this camera in motion. And now I can hit File, Import, Scenes, Images as Layers. And now I can take this drawing of the final shot right there. And I'm not going to go over this one. I'm just going to get it in there. Because, good lord, it would take too long. I'd probably take... I mean, I guess I could maybe, like, do what I did with a few of Eric's drawings where I just expanded the image. Oh, stop grabbing that one. I want this one. Thank you. Oh, I guess this is so gigantic. I might just be able to, like... have the camera. Nah, I better make it actually well sized. There we go.
Here in Roblox, Jenny, where'd that come from? Should I know this?
Okay, it's a creation of the fan base, yeah. And it's
Which is actually just
it's
a
a-
skin for Roblox.
yeah, someone found a skin from Roblox and they decided because it would be funny to make an entire story about it. And it's a big
Gosh.
parody. It's a big parody. And I haven't answered a question in a while, or we haven't answered a question in a while also. So, are we missing anything?
I don't think so.
Here, let me expand.
I see a preview of the animatic. If you go to the public Discord and go to the behind the scenes channel, there's a little preview of the animatic. Fun fact, I storyboarded that part.
Yeah, that's true. I do have to add all the credits of who did the storyboards and stuff at the end of the animatic.
One episode. Lol. One. Sadly.
Convert to drawing. What does this do? I didn't really do anything.
Who wins in a fight between XJ1 and a rat?
XJ1 is the baby,
XJ1
right?
versus Mr. Scruffles.
Oh, XJ1.
My God.
I know that's weird to say, but honestly, I would think XJ1 would come on top of that fight. Or if we're just talking about normal little Mr. Scruffles, like he doesn't have like a gadget or something, it's just him, one-on-one in a fist fight with XJ1. XJ1 would barf on him and he'd be done. That's
Roll on him.
That's
Yeah.
it.
I was just thinking of XJ1 rolling on him.
Yeah, or that too. Just crush him.
Seems
You
pretty
know,
heavy.
XJ1 versus Ratatouille.
Oof,
I always
don't know
wondered what
about that.
ratatouille tastes like. Never had it.
Vegetables. A lot of vegetables and nothing else, so it's flavorless pretty much. Unless you had like whatever sauce is with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would assume it'd be kind of like oh my god, the name of the food is escaping me. It's where it's like it relies entirely on the sauce. I can't.
Yeah.
It's a specific name.
The chili?
No, it's like you got a meat,
Garlic?
but it's like it's I'm not talking about a specific food. It's a type of way of preparing food. You know, like there's pasta, for instance. You know, that's like a little mini genre of food, a way of and then there's like you can have
Sauce?
oh my
Is
god,
that
I
what you're
eat this
thinking
stuff.
of?
I eat this stuff all the time. Why am I drawing a blank? Why am I drawing a blank? I eat this stuff. Like, I eat it. I had it the other day. I can't.
Ramen?
No. My point is, my brain is farting very bad right now. So the point is that it's a type of food. It's a type of food that it relies completely on the quality of its sauce. If the sauce is bad, you got
Paste!
a bad
Tomato
dish.
paste.
You got a bad dish. Yeah, that's an ingredient. That's not.
Is it like one of those fancy foreign words?
Yeah, I can't think of it.
It's al dente, a la mode, I don't know.
Something, yeah. Right now I'm just expanding this drawing. Making it... Oop, did I just click the button?
People are requesting a link to the public Discord.
Oh, okay. We can get that out there, yeah. Give me one sec there. Boop. And okay, I got the link. Boop.
Everyone's just saying like Rob Rinzinski for some reason.
Rob Rosinski, like combining Rob Renzetti and Principal Rosinski.
Yeah, apparently someone they were just saying like Rinzinski went on a bank heist when he was younger.
Oh.
Think sheeple.
Oh,
I think I might have cracked the code on how to make teenage robot looking devices after all this time.
The code, Nathan. Share.
You don't think about how it actually functions. Like, you just draw a weird looking shape and make it look like a machine, and then, like, congratulations, you have drawn a machine in Teenage Robot, or like that would fit in the world of Teenage Robot, because it doesn't look like it functions, but then you use your creativity to make it function as something. At least that's one way to do it. Of course, you could like what we've been doing normally is that we just try to come up with a machine, like we come up with how it works and stuff, and we convert that to the style. But I just now take all the stuff I just drew.
There is a lot of dead air on these streams. No
Yes.
offense.
Right then.
That's okay.
I
That's
have
good.
something for you guys.
It's
My
good
own
to have.
question. Online, when you guys are online, do you like being called by your real names or by your online usernames?
Well, my online username is Teenage Robot Rebooted, so it would be kind of awkward to call me by anything by other my first name, Nathan.
That- All right.
yeah.
So
but-
let's say, is that really your username for most things? Like
No, but,
your
like-
go-to online name.
No, it is not my go-to online name. But like for the purpose of Teenage Robot, that is my online name. So it would just be awkward to refer to me as, "Hey, Teenage Robot Rebooted." It's like it's you know.
Only
That would be
on the
funny.
production crew Discord that you have the original name.
Yes, on most places I just put my original first name. The only place that I have Teenage Robot Rebooted is on the fan base Discord, and that is because on there it's just a way of mini promotion. I'm not gonna lie, for the rebooted series, it's just like Teenage Robot Rebooted, and it's just like, oh, they're making a reboot. Like, yeah. But that's the only place I got it. Everywhere else, I just do my own name, which is
I can
probably
never
not a
decide
probably,
on like a username, so I just do my first name.
probably not a
and
good
last
concept.
initial.
I don't know. At least in speaking of terms
That's
of
really
me, where I
cool.
use my first, where I publicly have my first and last name out there, it's probably not a good idea. I probably shouldn't do that as much as I have been.
No. Name I can understand, but last name, I would be hesitant.
Mhm.
Little.
My life is a teenage sandwich. Says Yabilika.
God.
You're gonna get the sandwich to me. I'm
Nice,
heavy.
man.
Give me a sandwich.
And I guess just to make it a little bit more, because I'm not going to add shading, I'm just going to add a little bit of a vignette effect, which will probably be in the final product too, because vignettes make things look dark and cool. But because I can't add any shading right now. This, I'm just looking at this right now. This is going to be a nightmare to animate, but it's got to be done.
I'm looking at it right now.
And my program is starting to lag up because of how many brush strokes are in a single frame here. So I gotta just start doing some general.
All right, Nathan. The reboot fan base. She said, I use fake Elias for my online stuff. That's the entire Jack Herbert thing. Why
Mhm.
didn't you just do that, Nathan? Question mark.
Because I was 16 and dumb. I should have. I should have. If I were to go back in time, I would have told myself that. That's a much better idea than what I did.
Yeah, Nate Zella.
Oh, that's the go-to online name I do. Because I made that when I was in 6th grade.
My
there's
God.
so many things I would go back and tell my younger self not to do. There's so many things. As I'm pretty sure that's a common quote. I would say that a lot of people say that, but yeah.
Mine, actually, my username is a typo. I was too little to understand to what's it called, to word things properly. So I was going for tear gas. You know, it's like a normal tear gas with only one S. But I was too little to know that, so I put two S's in the end of my name, then 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, it's not.
Sadly,
Oh,
it's not. I was looking up tear gas. Like, what is the actual what's it called, spelling of it? And tear gas is spelled with one S instead of two. Oh, my username is a typo. Rip. And I could never change it because I use it for everything. Too much work.
Slightly shrink that a bit because I made it a little too big. It's gonna fit in that.
Yeah, don't
Nook.
share your names online. Bad
Yeah,
idea.
don't recommend
that
it.
stuff
Don't
is
recommend
out
it.
there forever.
My name is John Jacob Jingle Armor Smith.
Okay, and now I just got to animate the camera, and then I'm done with this weird shot. Always save the project before you do something big.
Complicated.
Uh-oh. That's not what I wanted. How do I,
You're about to crash it.
Nope, I just did a goof. That's all.
Oh, I know what Nikki's asking. Nico is actually wanting us to preview the animatic that we're doing right now.
Oh, I can't actually do that. Because there's no audio, and it's like it kind of ruins the feel. I'm okay with you seeing the little snap the boards and stuff, but I want the final. I mean, I guess I could like. How much time we got left in this stream? About 30
Half
minutes.
hour.
Half hour. I guess I could export what I got right now, and then I could quickly build it in Final Cut, and of what it's gonna sound like, and then I could show it on stream. I would be okay with that, but I don't want to just play it right now because I want it to be a little more jazzy than what it is right now before people see it. A little bit more jazzy. I don't know if you could tell, but I'm big on releasing things when they're ready. I don't know if that was obvious, but
The same as you, Nathan.
or if I'm releasing a test audio or a test thing, I usually make it clear that it's a test and then it's not done or something like that. So, okay, but I do actually need to play it here just so I can see how the camera's moving. So.
Since he's
Yeah.
gone, what do you guys think about the work of XJ Zeros? actually Cyril. He's a very inspirational person, and
Yeah.
he said that we helped him feel welcome in the new fan community.
Aw.
How did that happen?
Just did.
Wait, yeah, I don't know
I
how
don't know.
how did that happen? I don't know. He's a very and he said you guys. He's saying that we made him feel
All as a
accepted.
community?
I thought you were saying that you were making a general statement that XJ0 made all of us feel accepted in the community. I guess that is true also. But
I think
go ahead, Nick. I'm sorry.
the Teenage Robot fan base is actually saying, like, he said that you guys helped him feel welcome in the new fan community. But
Exactly.
it can be the other way around too.
I mean, I haven't seen the video. I saw I saw it posted on the server, whatchamacallit. But yeah. But cool guy. I didn't see the video. I wish I did. I'm too busy.
Okay.
Come here, you.
How did that happen? Because we're all friendly.
Alright, I gotta. But yeah, XJ0, I think he's a very nice guy. He makes really awesome art.
His art's amazing.
Yeah. I don't know really. I don't know what else to say about him really.
The art style is tough to copy. I tried.
No, yeah, like it's really unique because it's like it's got a teenage robot feel, but it's not exactly teenage robot. It's kind of like evolved. I don't know.
That with anime involved in it somewhere.
Yeah, it's hard to describe, but I think it's cool. I want to grab you, and I want to pull you down more, make you a little bit about there. Actually, no, don't modify the size yet, because make you right about here. All right.
We make a visual reference to the Beatles in an episode. I have a couple ideas for that, actually.
I would say yes, but I do not want to do it where they're crossing the road because that's how everybody.
Oh, that was literally.
That's how everybody references the Beatles. Every time, it's always somebody crossing a stripy road, and there's like 4 of them in a line. It's every time someone makes a reference to the Beatles, it's always the road crossing. I would say, like, let's try and reference something else from the Beatles. That's like, I mean, I know
that was my that was like my de facto reference thing.
Like
have
the
them
reference
crossing
to
a
the
road,
railway.
and then Tuck's like, "Oh, I forgot my shoes,"
all right.
and then they're like, "Why'd you take them off?"
Opening camera sweep is done. All right, now I can actually start importing the actual boards from this episode. Well, at least the sequence. This isn't.
Or
I've been
a
building
Pink
it.
Floyd reference.
I've been building it in scenes, so
Ooh.
it's like a Pink Floyd.
Pink
I-
Floyd reference, huh?
I honestly, I
As
am not.
long you're not talking about Dog Walker's Pink Floyd
I have well.
review of the wall, even though it's not the review, is a parody.
I don't think we would do reference to
Yeah,
like
we.
YouTubers talking
Yeah.
about Pink Floyd. I think we just reference like the actual album.
But like I am not gonna lie here. I am not big on musicians at all. I would because I don't I
Oh,
listen.
that's okay. That's why you got me.
But yeah, I don't know who Pink. I have heard of Pink Floyd. I have heard of them, but I do not. Other than that, I have no idea what they are. Or what.
See, even
They're
though the Kids
amazing.
Robot fanbase says that Dog Walker's review is bad.
I
Really bad.
haven't even. I watch a lot of Nostalgia Critic because it's like a guilty pleasure for me. But even then, I haven't seen that review yet. I heard it's terrible apparently, but I haven't seen it yet, so I can't. Even,
What, he
like-
reviewed the Wall film?
Yeah,
Like the film?
Yes.
Oh.
yeah, he did.
He got a talented 3D animator too.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I heard about that. There's this animator on YouTube, but you guys might have seen it. He does a lot of Tim Burton-esque character designs, where they're all like stripy and creepy looking, and he imports them into
Yeah.
3D and makes them these weird characters. And I know he did something for that review, but that's the extent. And I know that review is getting bombed with dislikes. So obviously something.
Hmm.
I don't think.
I'm
I don't
debating
think.
whether or not to watch that now.
I know. Evidently.
I feel like I'm gonna be like raging and just tossing my computer out the window.
Yeah, I have a feeling that he kind of crapped on the movie, and I looked up the movie, and it's kind of really well received by critics and audiences. So I'm fairly certain he might have crapped on it. But
Have you seen the movie?
no, I have not. I have just like
No.
I like I said,
It's-
Pink Floyd and other musicians. My knowledge
It's
doesn't go
pretty
very
good.
far.
I saw the live version with Roger Waters like twice.
I would be more
and
inclined.
It's like absolutely mind blowing. There's like 50-foot puppets and like
Ooh,
a wall
that
that
sounds
they
interesting.
build and then they knock down at the end. And each
I-
little brick has its own projector. It's so cool.
that does sound cool.
The tickets
would-
are like $200 each though.
Ooh.
That's not
I'd
so
be
cool.
I'd be more inclined to talk to you about, like, I can tell you some composers, like the people who make soundtracks for movies and the people who make like you know, grand orchestras, like symphony orchestras for people to go watch. I can tell you about a couple of them, but that's who I
Alright, let me
listen
take a
to.
guess. It's gonna be- Let me take a guess. It's all gonna be like Godzilla themed.
Well, no, there are a lot. There's Mishiro Oshima, Akira Ifukube, of course, Koa Tony. I know those guys.
I gotta
all of them.
confess though, I'm not like super into like symphonic soundtrack stuff.
No, that's it's fine. I don't expect people to be because it's kind of an underdog genre compared to like rock and roll and kind of the pop, of course, hip hop. It's not as popular as those. The listening to soundtrack music. But it's not just Godzilla stuff. I listen to like Alvin Silvestri, John Powell's amazing. James Newton Howard is pretty good too. John Williams, of course, and Hans Zimmer. But those are the go-to guys. Everybody likes them. But yeah, I know those. I know composers. I don't know rock and roll musicians as well. Anyway.
The same as you. Only composers.
Okay, so the next board here, I can either base, because this is a little tricky, this opening, because ironically enough, I found a version I did a long time ago, but I stopped doing.
And we're gonna put the CGI stuff in the animatic as well.
Yes, the animat. I mean, if I can fit it, because we have test shots of that CG opening already. We have test shots. If I can fit it, then yeah, I'll throw it in there in the animatic. But it's got the whole point of the animatic is to show how it's going to be visually constructed, and how it's going to all the unfinalized like animation where it's going to go and stuff. If I just throw random shots of a test animation that we did like a year ago in there that doesn't really have a narrative to the story, it's not. It defeats the purpose. I'd only have to throw it in. I would only throw it in if it matches like what the storyboard's asking for. I'm like, oh, look, it's beat for beat. Just put it together. But it would definitely be edited to heck, is what I'm saying. If I throw in that test CG.
Apparently, Plants 1000 or whatever said, did you all hear about the Snow White live action remake?
Yeah, they're just they're just lining up all their properties and just gonna drive every single one of them into the ground.
Yep.
Be like,
I
what was
think
that
the
movie
live
called?
action
What was it
department's
about?
like starting to realize their mistake of disrespecting Walt's
No.
legacy.
No, I think it's
It's gonna be like the Lion King.
No, I think it's the exact opposite. I think it's the live action department is going to be at full force than ever now, because Lion King, the remake, unfortunately, is now the highest grossing animated movie of all time. It has made over $1 billion. I know. It's a crime.
Whoa,
It is a
really?
crime that we exist in a world where Into the Spider-Verse is a movie, and the
Hey,
Lion
what?
King live action quotation marks also exists. Also
More like it.
exists. And the Spider-Verse movie, which was an immensely creative movie with an amazing plot line and an insanely creative visual style, made less money than the photorealistic Lion King that added literally nothing to the story, and in some cases shot for shot recreated the scenes to lesser effect because you can't feel the emotion of the characters because everything they don't make facial expressions.
They took out
Oh,
because they're realistic animals. No animals can make face expressions.
That's
but
not true. My dog smiles
it
at me
wasn't-
all the time.
yeah. My biggest problem with the Lion King remake is that they tried to have their cake and eat it too. They tried to make an animated movie or like an animated remake, but they tried to make it realistic at the same time. So they tried to make it photorealistic like all the other live action movies, but they still tried to make it animated and still tried to make it so like the characters can dance and sing around. They didn't change anything else with that. It's like you gotta go either or. It's like you're either going unrealistic and so the characters can emote and talk and sing and dance, or you gotta go complete 100% realism, where the characters aren't talking, they're not singing and dancing, and you're just watching animals be animals go through this story. It's gotta be either or. Because when you have this weird place in the middle, you can't... Because the part of like, what you talk about your dog smiling. We find that cute as humans because we project our own facial expressions onto the dog, and thus the dog becomes innocent in a way, and so that's what makes it cute. It's like, oh, look at the little dog, he doesn't know what he's doing and he's smiling about it, he's wagging his tail. That's cute. When you see a lion play around in a zoo with a toy, it's cute.
Horrifying.
And it's like you feel for that lion because he's playing with a toy, and humans can play with things. You kind of project yourself onto that lion a little bit, and that's what makes it cute. What makes a lion scary when he's taking down a wildebeest, he's baring his teeth, he's looking like a monster, you project a little bit of yourself.
Actually, I've seen Africa the Serengeti,
Yeah.
an IMAX film.
You project you project some of your own emotion onto the animal, and that's what makes it engaging to watch the animal. But however, in the case of the Lion King remake, you can't do that because they are doing things that animals don't do, and so there's a disconnect. You're going, I want to find this action that this animal is doing cute. I want to find it cute, but I'm watching a lion dance around and sing. There's a disconnect. Lions don't do that. And so you're in this awkward position where the character has to project, like any other animated movie, the character has to project onto you what they're feeling. But they can't do that properly because they can't accurately show in their facial features what they are feeling. So usually you have to project what you're feeling onto that character, which is what you would do when you watch an animal. But you can't do that because the lion is singing and dancing, and that's not what lions do. So it's like this weird middle ground where no emotion's being thrown around, and you're just watching crap happen on a screen. And that's my problem with the Lion King remake. Mini rant over.
Yikes.
Yeah. Say it was shot for shot, but it's not. They took out Scar's song.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Whenever they try to do something new, try to do something from the old movie, they did it worse. Be Prepared was butchered. That was the best song in the original, and in this new one, it was just awful. It was awful.
I haven't even seen the remake, and I don't care to.
Yeah, no, you don't need
Nope.
to. I mean,
the only version of the Lion King that means anything to me is the stage play.
Yeah.
the thing.
No, that I
Some
would have paid money to see a movie version of the Broadway play. The Broadway play kind of treats it where they're like, it's like these they dress up the characters in like the gear of like African tribes and stuff, where they're like have all these like I don't even know how to describe it, all this headgear and all this stuff, all these trinkets all over them, like it's so cool looking. And if it translated that onto the big screen with live action people, I would have paid money to see that. That would have been awesome. But no, we gotta have live action lions running around.
I'll say this: some of the movies that they made as remakes were good. I genuinely think the Beauty and the Beast movie was awesome.
Oh, I would disagree with that. I disagree. I thought the only Disney remake that I thought was marginally better than the original one, the only one out of the entire collection we've had so far, is Pete's Dragon. And that's because Pete's Dragon, the original movie, is kind of a bad movie. it's kind of lame.
Hey, it's not both animated in that movie.
Well, no, I'm not talking about the animation. I'm not talking about the animation. I'm talking about like the actual movie itself. It's not the original Pete's Dragon is not a very good movie at all. It's largely boring, and it's largely nothing happens, and when things do happen, there's barely any stakes, and it's mostly. It was a time during, I think it was the 70s or the 60s when that came out. It was it was the time of the Mary Poppins, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, the whimsical kind of like everybody. It's a whimsical musical, and they kind of tried to bring that into Pete's Dragon, but unlike Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and Mary Poppins, where they had all these fantastic sets and like places to go and stuff, with Pete's Dragon you're stuck in a boring town. And the most interesting thing, the dragon is mostly invisible during the entire thing, and so because of budget constraints during the time, so it's mostly a very boring movie. So when the remake came around and they made it a little bit more of a personal movie, they made it a better movie. I wouldn't call it great or amazing, but it was a better movie than what the original was. Every other movie that they've remade, I would argue is worse than how they did it originally, especially in my opinion. Aladdin, Lion King, and Beauty and the Beast. I thought they butchered those movies in comparison to their originals.
The only good Disney live action remake or continuation that I think is interesting is the 2018 Christopher Robin movie.
I wouldn't even call that a remake, though. I thought that was more of a sequel. That was a little bit different.
I know. This is like... in my mind, they did a lot of effort. I mean, Two Dusks did a very good job with adapting Winnie the Pooh and the others into actual CGI like characters.
Yeah.
Realistic and all, and it's kind of, I appreciate it.
Are you guys looking forward to the new Star Wars movie? I'm not.
Hopefully it
I
turns
will
out
not
better
watch.
than the Last Jedi.
I'll lie. I'm not gonna lie. When The Last Jedi came out, I was one of those people who were defending it, and I thought it was amazing when it first came out.
Dare
But
you.
it's one of those. No, let me explain. I'm different now. It's one of those movies that every time I went back to it, I found more and more things wrong with it. Instead of, it's usually supposed to be the opposite. Usually when you go to a movie, you see it the first time, you're supposed to return to it every once in a while, and you go, oh, that's another cool thing. Oh, that's another cool thing. Oh, look. The Last Jedi, exact opposite. Every time I saw those scenes again, I noticed problems. Like, oh, that's another thing they got wrong. Oh, there's another mistake. Oh, geez, that's a giant plot hole. Why did that happen? And it's just like, every time I went back to it, it got lower and lower and lower, and yeah, the state of Star Wars, that's a whole other topic. That's oof. Did you guys hear about
Praetorian Guard fight?
Oh my god, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. What's one of the scenes I'm talking about? There are so many
His
mistakes.
weapon missing.
There's not only that.
It just
there
disappears.
There's not only that. There are mistakes where the guards will, if you have to watch the background guards. They will literally wait their turn. They will stop moving and wait for the main characters to get into position so they can swing their staff thingies at them. It's like
The lightsabers.
no, the main characters have lightsabers.
The
The guards,
sword.
the guards have like these weird weapons that I don't even know the names to. The main characters have got
Actually,
lightsabers, but
They are from. They're based on Chinese weapons, pretty much.
yeah. Then there's one
I looked
moment.
up.
There's one moment where a guard, I'm not even making this up, I just made a weird noise in my mouth. Throws his weapon away, like he. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. He literally just like, Kylo Ren's approaching him, and the guard literally throws his weapon away to be killed. Like, he throws it and then his neck is
Use the
sliced.
Force.
To make it disappear.
Yeah, it's. So yeah, I don't know how
Jedi
episode
mind
9's gonna go. It's oof, and especially I can't quote it because this is a PG stream. I can't quote what J.J. Abrams said, but he said that in the writing process of this movie, this upcoming one, in comparison to when he was writing or helping write The Force Awakens, where he said he was very sticking to the lore. He wanted to. No, he didn't write The Last Jedi, but Rian Johnson did. But when J.J. Abrams wrote The Force Awakens and stuff, he said he was trying to stick as closely to possible to Star Wars canon and make sure everything synced up and was ready to go. This next one, I can't quote him directly because he swore. He said when he was writing this upcoming movie, number 9, he said his writing process was F it. He just
Sounds right.
yeah, and he just that doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound like you're writing what's supposed to be the 9th movie of a very long-winded franchise, and you're the thing that wraps everything up into a bow and sends it off, and your writing process is F it? Really?
I don't really care much for the new movies. I mean, they could just disappear for all I truly care.
Yeah.
But it's the sad part was for me is that they made a lot of the canon from George Lucas non-canon, and that's what really upset me. A lot of the games, a lot of the books were remarkable, but it's a shame how they're all replaced with lesser stuff that Disney brought in. Because originally it was Darth Vader in a sense that made the rebellion, so they could overthrow the Emperor. Now we got Disney. They took that down and brought in the Rebels, that show, and I felt that was really sad to see go. A lot of George Lucas's best work just vanished, disappeared in.
I
just
got
to spend in a few years.
Oh yeah, I got some sadder news for you.
Makes me cry right now.
Have you heard? Bob Iger recently wrote a book, right? and he released that book. And in that book, he recounts on George Lucas's reaction to The Force Awakens, like, or at least like some, I guess some script reading or early test screening or something that they showed George Lucas, and it's a big talking point right now because the book just came out. And George said that he felt utterly betrayed when they presented their version of Episode 7 to him. Because when he signed off Star Wars for, what, $4.5 billion, he also gave them outlines for Episode 7, 8, and 9 that he had in mind and how it would be handled. And he said, here you go. This is Episode 7, 8, and 9. Take it, make them amazing. This is my outline for my idea of how it would happen. And they took it and they threw it in the garbage bin. They didn't listen to his. They
scrapped all of it.
Well, I mean, in the sense, yes. I mean, obviously we don't have those outlines, so we can't say like if anything was preserved or if anything, or if, but yeah, he felt betrayed. My point is that when George, it's obviously not his version. Like, it's obvious they obviously did not follow it completely through because, like I said, George felt betrayed by them. But I just say I don't know if the entire thing was thrown out. I don't know if elements were taken back and thrown back in, but judging by George's reaction, yes, I would say largely the entire largely the outline was thrown in the garbage or just tossed aside.
Sad.
So,
that's horrible. That make you feel worse. What have you done?
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough.
Mostly though, when it comes to the films, the new ones, I knew what would happen. I was coming in the mindset of like, all right, this is gonna happen. This character's gonna come in. I can't wait to see this. Luke Skywalker's gonna be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I mean, originally in canon, Luke, I can't say the words. He's awesome. He became one of the most powerful Jedi's. He's one of the greatest lightsaber users. I'd easily say he's one of the top 5 or top 3 lightsaber Force users. It was said in one of the books that he was so fast using a lightsaber is as if you're fighting against 30 people with lightsabers. He was that fast.
Right.
Was able to move planets and moons, solar systems, but now I see like this old guy in the movie. I didn't really want to be a Jedi in the first place. He felt broken. That's what I got in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's that type of stuff that really bugged me. I could understand Rey, like, cool, a brand new character. We don't really know much about her. That's the beginning of a new story. And I was able to give it like a chance until I saw the second movie, episode, what was it, 8? Then I put my foot down and said enough.
Yeah.
I'll give the new one a try. I will watch it. Maybe.
Oh, yeah,
I'll
for
probably
sure.
wait till reviews.
I feel like I'm
how it
obligated
goes.
to see it because I am. I mean, it's no secret that I'm a huge Godzilla fan, and that's my number one like favorite franchise that I'm a big fan of. Star Wars was always number 2 for me. Like, that was always like I always like looked up the lore and stuff like that, so I kind of feel obligated to go see all the new Star Wars movies. But yeah, I am not particularly excited to see how this franchise is going to end, or at least the main Skywalker. Now they're calling it the Skywalker saga, which is funny because we don't have a Skywalker main character in this new trilogy. We have a Solo who has a little bit of Leia,
right?
Of Leia Organa in him, because 50-50 genetics. But I wouldn't. If you want to play the name game, if you want to play the name game, it's more. That's more. It's a Solo. It's a. Because that's how names work. that's how.
Yeah.
That's.
In fact, Ben Solo's originally was well, he was Ben Skywalker originally.
Yeah.
It was so Ben was trying to remember was a Luke Skywalker's son.
So Luke
Han
could
Solo-
have gotten married? Are you joking me?
Well, no, like
No,
you know
no.
how you know how I thought they were gonna set this up. I feel like this was a double-edged sword here, because J.J. Abrams, I have a lot of gripes with J.J. Abrams, but he's a good filmmaker. But there's a lot of gripes that I got with him. One of them is his stupid mystery box mentality, where every movie he makes or every thing he makes has this mystery box that the audience has to keep guessing. And he's gotten to a point where he makes the mystery box, but he doesn't make sure there's an answer for it, and he doesn't make sure that there's an ending, like in mind. He just like, ooh, what could this mean? I don't know, but it'll keep the audience invested. And I feel like that mentality that he brought into Force Awakens, yeah, he set up a lot of mystery boxes and he got the audience invested. But when Rian Johnson came along and went, what could be the answer? Oh, I know, nothing for everything. Just like, who is Snoke? Where did he come from? Doesn't matter, he's dead.
Yeah.
How did who are Rey's parents? How is she so powerful? Nothing. She's just powerful. What terrible thing, other than the Jedi Order burning down to the ground, because we already saw that in Force Awakens, what terrible thing happened to Luke that could have made him run off like this? Nothing. It was just that. And it's just like, wow, that's really dumb. Now that I think about it,
I want to finish this first. I didn't finish what I was going to say.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you finished.
But what you said though was actually really interesting. I did like that. So I'm going to say straight from memory. But I know it's correct. Ben is Luke's son. Han Solo did have a son, and his name was Anakin Solo. They got, I wonder if they got it confused because Anakin Solo does become a bad guy. Ben Skywalker remains as a good guy, but helps Anakin Solo to revert back to the good side.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they got that mixed up between the names while they're writing for the movie. I could see that as an easy mistake.
Well, that was the original extended universe
I don't
before
know.
they.
Is that the extended universe?
Yeah, the extended. Well, now it's called, what is it? It's called the Legends. Legends. That's what it's called now. But yeah, that was the extended universe.
What? They made it like. Yeah.
Originally. The extended universe, from what I can tell, I'm going to exit out of storyboard here so I can open up Final Cut and make this a little bit more audibly pretty before I play it for everybody. Just give me 1 second. You guys are looking at a black screen right now. What was I saying? Oh, it was the extended universe, and how that operated is that George Lucas gave general canosity, made that canon up until the point he would decide that something would be uncanon. Like, that's how he handled the extended universe. He gave these story ideas that would pass through him his blessing, but gave the warning, like, they can become uncanon if I decided to be so. His original, there's a rumor going around that the original 3 episodes of his outline would dive more into how the Force works with the midichlorians and stuff like that. It would this is a really, really deep into Star Wars lore, but the wills of the Force, and it's not the will as in W-I-L-L, as in like the will of the Force, the prophecy or whatever. I'm talking about the W-H-I-L, the will of the Force. There's these I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know. I'm a big Star Wars fan. I don't even know how this works, but it would have dived into like how the Force works and how the Force exists and affects everything. His original first 3 trilogies. That's the rumor that it would have gone into that. But yeah.
I've been trying
So
to
it's
do a
probably
prequel
Jason
story
Solo. That
of
sounds right.
the movie 9.
Let's see.
9.
Final Cut Pro.
Muppets.
Okay.
You know. Just
Remember
how
what I
it-
said about it? I said I didn't like it. Then I rewatched the movie, changing my mind. It's a good movie.
What's that? Which one?
I do 9. I
Oh,
had to
yeah.
rewatch it because it's been a while since I've last seen it. It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
I think he's
Totally
talking
forgot
about
about it. 9.
one
Yes,
that I
9. Yes, yes.
Yeah, I've been trying to do a prequel.
Ooh, a prequel.
Yeah.
Stereo. Okay.
And all I
Looked
have
up
to
a
do
lot
is
of
find
videos
cast
of 9
members.
of like what happened. It's very cool. It leaves a lot of question of how did it occur to get to an apocalyptic point. I would have liked to seen that fleshed out in the movie.
Okay, now I drag this right in there. Okay. And now I'm going to grab my test soundtrack that I don't think I've ever released publicly. I made this years ago.
Years
It's gonna be
ago.
about before the events of 9. The prequel that I'm doing. It's based on a Facebook story. You can read all about it in 9 Scientists on Facebook.
I need to clarify that the music you're about to hear in this test go, it is test music, so it is not the final version at all, and it is not like it's not done. I don't think we've even had our composers take a whack at it yet, so it's just me. It was just me on a keyboard.
Your discretion is advised.
Right.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm still looking for it. I gotta find it.
My gosh, it says
Oh, you know what? It's on my
speed hard.
It's on my external hard drive. Let me grab that real quick and plug it in. In the meantime, let me make sure the questions are up so I'm not missing any questions. Did I miss any? Did anybody notice any questions that I missed?
No, I've been scrolling.
I need to plug in my external hard drive so I can get the actual test soundtrack for this opening scene on there to be accurate. Oh, plug in, will you little bugger? Come on.
I've been commenting a lot about Star Wars.
Yeah. By the way, what are you guys' favorite characters in Star Wars? That's a fun little. What's your favorite character?
Jar Jar.
Jar.
No, just kidding.
Yoda.
It's a hard one. That's a tough question. Oh, Tulacord, easily. The deadliest Sith of all time.
Mine is General Grievous. He was always my fave.
Of course it is.
Always my favorite, General Grievous. Especially, I think I can
Warrior.
tell you the moment he became my favorite character. Battle of Hypori. That was it. That made him my favorite character. He was like this Jedi Hunter Terminator. That's like, oh, I loved it. It was so cool. And then I learned his backstory, and I loved him even more. But yeah, he's my favorite. All right, activation day. There you are, you nasty little bugger. Drag you onto this computer.
D2, C3PO.
I'm sure
Luke
anyone will recognize
Skywalker.
this logo.
I think that was supposed to be Luke. Would Jar Jar be a villain in Episode 9? Question mark.
I got no
That
idea.
would be amazing.
The Chancellor
He was
symbol
Snoke the
from
whole
9.
time.
Transition. Cross dissolve.
Rex or Commando
there.
Cody? I can't decide. They're both really cool characters.
freaking.
I like Commander Fox. He's cool.
I mean, I guess I can't speak of it because they haven't really concluded the Clone Wars yet, or they're gonna do that soon. But I hope we get a really, because it's a total missed opportunity with Commander Cody and Rex. Total missed opportunity with Rebels is that they didn't have Rex or Cody ever meet up in that series. They spent all that time together in the Clone Wars, and both of them were still alive. And it would have been so cool to see them meet up. And because, like, Cody was affected by Order 66, and Rex was not. So it's like, it would have been so cool to see that.
I think it would have ended well because Cody was a very strict and by the book type of guy, while Rex wasn't. He was more like Anakin.
Exactly.
Kind of a loose cannon. I could see it being super interesting, but I think it would end up one of them would have to die.
No, yeah, that's exactly why. It's like it was based in terms of clone troopers. It would be what we got, Ahsoka versus Darth Vader. It's like these two people who spent a lot of time together and grew as Rex and Cody were best buds. They were brothers. They're like the brothers. They came up with all these codes together that formulated the Galactic Empire, or like not the Empire, the Galactic Republic is all the code systems and everything. They formulated all that, and to see them, like, one was affected by Order 66 and was mind controlled basically, and the other was free from that. To see that confrontation come together, it would have been like gut wrenching, and it's just total missed opportunity. I thought. Let's see. Nope.
Do we support the Darth Jar Jar theory?
I don't know if
we all do. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He does. You're just clouding his mind. It's a pretty cool theory, though. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's awesome.
Okay, and I gotta add some text, so it's like, because there's stuff that's supposed to go here, but I can't put that on right now. I gotta.
Harold said, "Is that Springtrap?"
Nope. Yeah, I'm not gonna say who it is, but it's not Springtrap.
See the similarity.
It's gonna be about right about there. And the transitions right here. Yep.
Software are you using?
Right now I'm using Final Cut Pro. It's my go-to editing software. This is also the only episode that's going to open like this. The other ones have a general, like, dun 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 dun, you know, like all that stuff. It's like, it's just this one that gets a little creepy. Get some width in there so you can actually read that better. There we go.
My gosh. To find ways to download Final Cut Pro for free.
Good luck with that.
Did it for Photoshop. That was tough. I mean, I don't do that. I buy it. Buy Adobe stuff. Or is it all under what's it called? Trials. Not trials. Trying to say.
Alright, come here, you little... Timing's not perfect. I wonder if I can just, like, drag this out a little bit more. Modify slow, 50%. Gotta get it all the way over there. There we go. And then that's not normally how you would handle that problem, but just for in the expense of getting this done quick before this. I mean, we're already 20 minutes over the stream end limit, so.
And I need to go and get something to eat after the stream. I'm hungry.
Same.
There we go. Yeah, I haven't eaten today.
Come on.
I have
Oh my
gone...
gosh, Nathan, that's horrible. I've been here.
I went to the local fair and had a bunch of fair food.
There we go. Okay, and now I kill this because that's the rest of the sequence. And then I go over here. Maybe it'll be better to put it there. Right when the piano starts in for the test audio. There we go. And then I'll just put it generally anywhere just to get this moving along, just to fill in the space. All right. Export this real quick. Scene 1 test. Stereo, yep. Okay. Put it in movies for now. Ah, crap. I exported.
Whoa! The Final Cut's like going nuts.
What's that?
When I'm watching this stream, it's like everything is like.
Oh. I guess that's just I guess that's what happens when I'm broadcasting Final Cut. I guess my bit. I guess learn something new. I exported it, but I accidentally exported it as a audio only. So I take it you just don't want to listen to the thing. You want to watch it. Video codec H.264, please. I do not need scene 1 test. Yep. Put it in the movies. All right. Should be exporting for good now. It's just take a little bit of time. So This will be the last thing we show before we wrap up the stream. So if there's any last minute questions as we're waiting for this thing to export, shoot them now.
Terry Studios asked Love on Media.
SAS Try Studios. They're asking. Yes, that's what it's called now. It's no longer called Natezilla Productions because it was childish, and I changed the name to SAS Try Studios, and it sounds a little bit more professional and it sounds a little bit better. So, yeah, and it's the only episode that's gonna have it in the front because it's meant to build up because it's like you see a movie and you have all the logos come in and it's like building up what you're about to see. Ooh, you know, everything else is just gonna start with like that. This is gonna start instantly like that. So now we're just waiting for it to export. Hey Nathan, I was wondering which of the people in the stream you would prefer to kiss.
What?
Says
What?
the Teenage Roblox fan base.
Hey!
You have to choose. You have to choose.
The only person that can kiss
the person who I would like to kiss is not currently in the stream. So I'm sorry, you're all very attractive, but my heart's taken.
Oh, come on! Stop asking that question already. He's already taken.
Anyway.
It is Mistress Creepy Pasta.
Yeah. Loading. See that little pie thing up there? Can you guys see that? No, you can't.
What?
We're at about
pie?
65% done exporting, so it's getting there. It's getting there.
Somebody wants to see the logo for Sastrai Studios. Spoiler alert, it's a dinosaur.
Yeah, it's a dinosaur.
Yep.
I'll pull it up. I got it on my computer as we're waiting for this thing to export. It's gonna be cool. I'm gonna get like a CG model, and it's gonna fade into the logo because that's like it'll be like a cool just little sequence. Oops, done exporting. So when I'm done showing this, I can show the animatic logos. There you are. And then there's that logo, and I'm just gonna do.
Where are you putting the logo?
I'm just showing it on stream. So I'll kill that window capture. I'll make a new window capture. Okay. And I'll make it... First, I will make it... Where are you, QuickTime? QuickTime screen test. It looks like I just made a black screen into a black screen, but I'm just preparing to show it after I'm done showing the logo. So there that. And now I'll show the logo. What the logo looks like. I made this a while back too. Preview. There you are. And now
it's
I
like 15, 30 seconds thing.
All right, there we go. That's the logo. Now I know you guys are waiting to see it, so I'm gonna get on with the thing. So that's what it looks like. Little dinosaur skull. Sastrai Studios has alliteration. Both words have 5 letters in them. I'm sorry, my brain farted. No, both letters have 7 letters in them. Can I, Nathan, please learn to count? 5. No, it's called. It's actually, you guys, this entire time it's actually Sastrai Studio. That's it. Anyway, that's the logo, and now I'm gonna get to the actual animatic. So here we go.
There we go. Okay. Looks like something. Looks like it's from the 90s.
Cool. I like it. The idea was to go for like a fossil rock kind of feel. So, anyway, playing
For some reason, it's like jumping. Like the top thing, it's like jumping.
I hope that doesn't happen when I hit play. But if it does, we'll try and shrink it and watch it that way. Anyway, here we go.
The anticipation.
Yeah, there's gonna be something going here with the blank space. But here we go.
Yeah. Okay, there we go.
And then it gets to the rest of the animatic. Uh-oh. I hope that doesn't... Okay, we were not live for a quick split second there, but we're back on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Oh,
the music
good.
was a little off.
I'm not even hearing any music. Oh wait, no, I
Me
got
too.
the stream. Never mind, I'm an idiot. I got the YouTube stream muted. So I was like, "Where's the music?"
I mean, I can press upload for you guys. That's what I should have done. I should have uploaded it to
The Discord.
our Discord
Yeah.
so you could have watched.
Can't
Oh,
do it.
Me?
my bad. That was my bad. Because I watched it myself, being quiet, and then my bad.
Oh, jeez.
That's that moment when I was quiet and I wasn't talking, and then Tear Gas said something like, "Ooh, the anticipation," and it's like I thought you were commenting on the black space, like.
That too.
Okay, hold on. I'll upload it for you guys to watch on your
It was
own. now.
black for the longest time. Probably like
It's
a
a good-
good 10 seconds.
I'd say like 20 seconds.
Yeah,
It
no,
was on
that
the
black.
edge of
I
my-
gotta
Yeah,
cut
it's
that
like
down.
a 20, 30 minute, there's like 30-second delay
Yeah.
at this point.
I was like wondering, oh, I can't wait.
Ooh, they like the music. that's comforting. It was test music.
Later,
But...
later. Here, because it was on my phone, little did I know my phone was muted, and I tried to hire it. My earmuffs were on my head. Couldn't hear a thing.
Well,
So I'll watch it later on.
Okay. And also, I can't It turns out I can't upload it right now because it's actually greater than 8 megabytes. So I gotta shrink it. So I gotta shrink the file size so I can just upload it directly to our Discord. And the music is. I noticed when I was watching, the music is actually off by a second. So I would actually want to go back in and just tweak it one more time. But yeah, that's the first camera shot. That's like the first shot of the animatic. Yay.
Hey guys, we're nearly done.
We have other
Gotta get
animatics. No, we have others. Okay, I gotta disclaim because that sounds like we don't have anything else. We have other animatics of the other scenes and stuff. We just gotta piece them all together. That's like we just gotta like put them together and make them a coherent like blah 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 blah. But yeah,
Understand that.
coming along. Anyway, that being said, is there any last minute questions?
Okay.
Because we are about to wrap up. We are about 30 minutes over, and we got to wrap up here.
Okay, question for me is, if can any person from this do outside work, like say a prequel to a movie or something, a fan-made prequel?
I have no. What are you asking? You got to rephrase that, man. You said a fan-made prequel.
Yeah, something
If any of us on this crew would work on a prequel, like on another project,
Yes, that's what I've been saying.
That'd be an individual question of
that's on
the
them.
person you're specifically asking. I
it's on
don't
them
know
if they want to do that.
Yeah, but I was more referring to anybody in the group chat there. If there's any other questions. The Teenage Robot fanbase asks, "Will the Roblox Jenny cameo stay in the final cut?" Fine. Fine. I don't. Fine. I'll just. It'll be a small. It'll be a blink and you'll miss it moment. How about that? It'll be a blink and you'll miss it. You know, you have to go. You have to like download it and go frame by frame. It's like there she is.
The frame long.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see another. Let's see. There, people want me to post the animatic music. You'll hear the music when we have it, but I don't know. I don't. We have composers and stuff. I don't want to just like take over their job with this one. I want to, because I do like the beat and what I came up with the intro here. But at the same time, I don't want to. I want to give it to the composer so they can add their flair to it too. I don't want to just like take it away from them.
It's a little something, something.
Yeah, and on top of that, I relied way too much on the piano and the synthesizer in the background that was going you know, all that crazy stuff, and I want there to be more orchestra elements, and so I think handing it to the composers who actually know music and aren't just bashing on their keyboards would be probably a good idea.
Right, so Balrog said, where can I recommend ideas for season 5? In the Discord. It'll be in season 4 and 5, and it'll have a little tab called ideas.
Yep.
Just slap it in there.
Yep, and I would have to disclaimer. Most ideas will be towards season 5 because season 4 is we've been focusing on the animatic now, but we've got one script left in season 4.
And there's no guarantee that your idea will be used.
Yes, that's another thing. There's no guarantee. Because I talked about this before on the stream, and we've talked about it a few times. We have had our own ideas for season 5 as we were working on season 4, and there is currently a season 5 bin in our little personal work folder. There's a season 5 bin that just had there's enough episode ideas in that season 5 bin for 2 entire seasons on their own. Like, just there's so many ideas that we got to sift through and find the best ones. So I don't want to make it sound doom and gloom for any new ideas. You got to make sure you got like put some effort into them. But yeah. Anyway, will you guys be able to upload the animatic music someday? They really want me to upload the test music. I mean, you'll hear the test music when we have the entire animatic out there. I'm going to be using that test music as the test music for the animatic. It's not the final music. I'm not letting it be the final version of the music because it is also, in many ways, too long as well. I actually have to cut it down what I wrote in order to even fit as test music. It's much too long. And I think the grand total of that track is 4 minutes and 30 seconds, which is what, a quarter of the entire episode? That's too long. That's too long. I got to cut it down. But I mean, I guess when the animatic comes out, I will upload the full 4 minutes and 30 seconds test audio unedited for people to have just the test music, because evidently they really want it. But it will come with a bunch of disclaimers with like, it's not the final version, it's a work in progress, it hasn't even handed off to the composers. It's like, no. There's parts of it that I don't like. If you really listen to the background, there's instruments that are out of key. There's like, or they don't fit the motif or I'm musically illiterate. They don't fit the key. I don't even know what key it's in. If it's like, say it's in a C minor, there's instruments in the background that don't fit being in a C minor. Anyway, other questions? Any other questions before we go? I don't see any. Had anyone ever been to a pizza parlor? Yeah. I think everyone's been to a pizza parlor before.
Okay,
Dude, what is that?
once the 4th and 5th seasons are finished, you think you'll be able to post the OST on CD or vinyl record? I don't
Not
know.
not CD or vinyl record, but we will do. I am
Can you
definitely
imagine
planning.
a vinyl?
Yeah.
Teenage Robot rebooted OST. I'd
And
buy
plus,
it.
I mean, another thing with vinyl, it only works if you have analog. I mean, you can technically make anything into a vinyl, to be honest. But it really,
Yeah,
it only matters. It is coming back.
I have a collection of vinyls and a record player.
It only matters though.
My
it only
God.
matters though. If you want to own something on vinyl, make sure that they recorded it through analog first, because if you have, because the whole point of vinyl is to get it on analog, like the type of vinyl is analog. That's analog audio. If you record something digitally and you upload that digital, you convert that digital file into analog, what's the point of putting it on analog? Because it's already digital. You can convert something from analog into digital, but that degrades the quality of the audio. So when you put something from digital onto analog, you're putting a lesser quality version of the song, even though it's the highest quality possible of that digital song, onto analog. And it's like, it doesn't make sense. Like, you might as well just put it on a CD. So it would only make sense to upload anything or make an analog copy of anything if it was originally recorded on analog, because then you can take those analog recordings and put them on analog audio. That, like, preserves the quality. If you take something digital that's already digital and put it on analog, it's you know what I mean?
Yeah, but like part of the charm of vinyl is that it's not like great quality.
Yeah, because it's got all the static stuff. But I guess there's an argument for the vintage quality of it. I can see that too. Anyway, though, if we are going to release the soundtrack when it's all said and done, because I listen to soundtrack music all the time. I'm a big soundtrack buff, and the thing that irks me most of all is when they don't release all the soundtrack to a specific movie, and they only release like 10 tracks or something for a tiny little album, and I have to wait until the recording sessions eventually get leaked out to hear the rest of the score without watching the movie. So I'm going to make sure that we don't do that, and we release the entire soundtrack of every single scene when we write them. But yeah, so once it's all said and done, we will release the soundtrack as well.
Probably on SoundCloud.
SoundCloud, maybe just
Nathan.
YouTube videos too with a playlist. But yeah.
Luke Oliver said, if My Life as a Teenage Robot would come back, what would happen to the reboot?
We've answered this before, but happy to answer it again. Not this stream. We would see what they're doing, because the ultimate mission of Teenage Robot Rebooted is to reboot the show and like give it another chance. So if they were to decide to bring Teenage Robot back in some shape or form, we would see what they're doing, like what they're planning on doing, what they got involved, and if it's in line with the old, if it's in line what we're doing, where it's basically like just like instead of rebooting the whole show from the ground up and making like the whole series over again, it is a continuation of Teenage Robot, where it's it keeps everything in canon and it is a faithful continuation. In that scenario, we would upload what we got, and basically like that's our job's accomplished. Like, they are doing it. We would upload what we got, so it's not like everything that we've done thus far goes to waste. We would still like get it all out there, but we would show it off and just went, hey, they're doing it. We're mission successful, guys. If it is not a continuation of the original Teenage Robot, and if they do something entirely new, like, I don't know, in comparison, I mean, I doubt it would be this degrade of quality, because this is kind of a rare case. But in comparison to Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go, where it's just a completely different style and a completely different way of doing the show, not even talking in terms of quality. Like, I'm not even pretend that this new version of Teenage Robot is actually like really, really good. Like, it's like amazing, and it's not like where it's a degrade in quality like Teen Titans Go. But see, like this, it is a different version of Teenage Robot. That if that happens, we would continue on with our own thing and just make it clear that we are separate from that new thing that's going on, because it's different, you know. So there you go. If they were to reboot it and it's like what we're doing, where it's faithful to the old show and it's just a continuation, we would just upload what we got and, you know, say goodnight. If it's if they do something that's completely different to what we're doing, we would just continue on trekking along.
Until we do complete it on our own terms.
Yeah. And no Professor Meowingtons, probably no physical OST copies, because
we don't have the connections for that.
We don't have the connections, and we can't sell them, so we can't physically make money off of them. So we would have to, you know.
We'll leave it up to you to burn your own copy.
Yeah. If you want to burn your own copy, they're going to be the most. They're going to be uploaded in the best quality possible. Like we're not going to singe. Like the digital copies will be the best version. Like it'll be 320 kps, and
Enoch Scott.
It'll be nice quality, ready, good to go, but it will not be physical copy. And probably the same deal with the actual episodes too. We will never be able to get them on a physical copy. It'll just be the uploaded digital versions. Anyway. Good. Green Gold, would it be a good idea if Skeletor made a guest appearance in the Halloween episode as a costume? Sure. That we are in the crowd when we're drawing everybody. We actually are going to be throwing in a bunch of references to other series, because they're going to be wearing costumes, and like there's going to be, you know, the town of Tremerton wearing costumes. So
maybe the equivalent, if that's more like it.
But will Teenage Robot rebooted be 60 frames per second? No.
Way.
24 frames per second. 24 frames per second.
25 for
Yes.
most of you guys is now.
24 frames per second on twos. And
on twos.
Yep.
yes. So it's really like 12 frames per second, but it's like there's certain actions that take up the ones that go on ones, but it's how you do TV animation. That's how you do it. Disney and all the movies of animation animate on ones, 24 frames per second on ones, but never, ever, 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 ever animate 2D animation at 60 frames per second on ones. That is a nightmare. Right. That is a nightmare. Don't do it. It's pointless. It's absolutely pointless, and it's a nightmare. That is 60 drawings per second. Don't do that. If the most,
I noticed like the way some people do it is have the background move on ones and characters on twos.
Yes, that's a way of doing it. Yeah, but the most I would recommend going frames per second for animation is 30 frames per second on ones. I don't think that's unheard of. I think there's actually a couple of studios that do that, but don't do 60 on ones. No. Anyway. How much longer until this stream ends? We gotta wrap up. We are 40 minutes over, and I actually do have college homework to do, because I gotta get one. All right, guys.
Almost
Slacker.
3-hour stream.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
Almost.
All right. And okay, last two questions
By
because they're really
10
fast.
minutes.
Doom Destroyer, Five Nights at Freddy reference. No, that was not a Five Nights at Freddy reference. That was a reference to something in the original show, but I'm not gonna give away the Easter egg of what that was. I will leave it up to you guys to find out what that Easter egg was in what you saw in that animatic that we just showed. That there is an Easter egg from the original show in there, but you guys got to go find it. I'm not saying what it was.
Oh, I think I know it.
I'll tell you guys after the stream, but I'm not going to tell the general public.
Speedhog
asks. Speedhog58 asks, are you guys doing hand-drawn backgrounds like the original? Digitally hand-drawn, yes. Not physically painted. At least not yet. There's no one among us are skilled physical painters. We're all digital. All right. So that being said, we're gonna wrap up here, guys. So, yep. See you guys, and good night. Thanks for coming, and thank you for staying for an additional 40 minutes. 50 now. All right. See you guys.
See ya!